been a
Hi,
long road.
and welcome back to my vlog. Have you found yourself making New Year's resolutions and then you miserably fail and you wonder why this is happening? I have to. Trust me, many of us have. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, let me introduce myself just in case this is your first time meeting me, first time clicking on one of my videos. My name is Lisa Kinoti. I am a singer and songwriter, originally from Nairobi, Kenya, but residing in the USA. I always love to say I love both countries. I consider myself a citizen of both countries. Please don't make me choose one because I love both. So happy to have you here today. My American friends call me Lisa Kinoti. My Kenyan friends call me Kinoti. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it. I am okay with it. I'm not going to take offense with it. Why do I always say this? Because sometimes when I pronounce my name the way my American friends say it, I catch my Kenyan friends and family off guard and they're like, did you just say Kinoti? But that's because that's what I'm around all the time. So I have no problem with that. I'm not one of those people that get really angry when you pronounce my name wrong. Unless you say Elizabeth, because I'm not Elizabeth, I'm Lisa. Anyway, so back to what we were going to talk about. So you find yourself every year making a resolution. And one of the reasons that I'm bringing this up is because I'm recording this in February of 2018. And February is that month. It's that month that most people start to realize that they're failing. You know, you make a New Year's resolution sometime in December. And you tell all your friends, you say, you know what, 2018, I'm going to lose that last 10 pounds, or I'm going to lose 50 to 100 pounds, however much I need to lose. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to feel good. You say, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to, get a really good job, or I'm going to finally start that business, or, whatever it is that you decide that you're going to do. December is that exciting month when you're all excited because you're like, I don't know what it is about New Year's. A new year makes you feel like you're getting a new lease in life. You're getting an empty plate to fill. You're getting a new lift, to ride on. And you just you feel like you can do anything, right? So January comes around, you celebrate New Year, Happy New Year, and you get started and you start going to the gym. And by the way, when people go into the gym, the beginning of the year is the time when most gyms make the most money or get the most new members, because you're not the only one that makes those New Year's resolution. And then February comes around and you start to lose steam. You've been going to the gym almost every day in January, or you've stopped eating carbohydrates, you've stopped smoking if that's what you wanted to quit, whatever it is that you wanted to do. And then February comes around and you start to notice you're slowing down and you're slowing down and you're slowing down. And sometimes with some people, February, that's it, it's dead. Or some people make it as far as March or end of February and then not doing it anymore. Is that you? Are you that person? You're sitting there and you're watching me right now and you're thinking, that's me. Actually, I'm already failing at that resolution that I made earlier this year. You're looking at me and you're saying, wow, I actually am realizing that she is talking about me. Not to worry, stick with me to the end, watch this video to the end, and we're going to help each other because I have tips on how to continue your resolution and actually finish it. But first we got to figure out why most people fail miserably at the New Year's resolution. Let's get started. So according to Psychology Today, 50% of the population, I don't know if they're talking about the world or the US or what country they're talking about, but they're saying 50% of the population makes resolutions each year. 50% or more of the people where you are make New Year's resolutions. Okay? So the most popular New Year's resolutions are what? Weight loss is number one up there. I don't care what country you live in. There's always people saying, I'm going to lose weight this year. When 2018 comes around, I am going to lose weight. And then you have exercise. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to gain that tone, that muscle. I'm going to lose that fat. I'm going to get that six pack. I'm going to look hot. I'm going to look good, right? So many people say that. Smoking is another huge resolution. A lot of people that smoke want to quit smoking, and New Year's is a good time for them to say, hey, I want to stop smoking. Then you got people that want to be better in managing money, or you want to reduce your debt. So those are like the top 5-ish New Year's resolution. I know there are many, many, many other New Year's resolutions that we make. So let's go right away to the reasons why we fail. Okay. So a lot of times, or most of the time, or even all the time, New Year's resolutions are based on willpower. You want to will yourself into achieving this thing that you want to achieve. You're going to will yourself into not eating carbohydrates. You're going to will yourself into exercising. You're going to will yourself into being healthier. You're going to will yourself into stopping to smoke. You're just going to tell yourself, Lisa or John or Vicky, whatever your name is, come on now, let's get up off this bed and go work out. You're going to will yourself into that. But you never stop to wonder why that didn't work in the past. Because instead of using a system or using some kind of plan, there's this saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we're going to go into that a little later here. But that's what's going on. You're using willpower with no plan. You're just like, I'm going to wake up on the 1st of the year and I'm going to go to the gym. Good for you, sister. Good for you, brother. But let's see how long that'll last. Because willpower doesn't work very well in any area, and we're going to find out why. The other reason is unrealistic goals. Unrealistic goals. Like when you say that you're going to lose 200 pounds in 2018. But you don't have a plan. You don't know how you're going to do it. You just think, I'm just going to try. Now, it's not a bad goal. Like if you're 400 pounds, it's 200 pounds to lose is not a bad goal. But it's unrealistic for you. We're not talking about unrealistic for anybody else. We're talking about what works for you. If you have $100,000 debt and you say, I'm going to get rid of the $100,000 debt, and you're not giving yourself a realistic time limit to do this, you're setting unrealistic goals for yourself. The reason I'm saying yourself is because depending on the situation you're in life, some people can quit smoking cold turkey, which is right now, and some people can't do that. You got to go through a process. So who are you? You got to find out who you are, what your belief system is, what you believe you can do. Because if you set up a goal that you personally don't believe that you can do, well, guess what? You're going to fail. Which leads us to unrealistic expectations. After unrealistic goals come unrealistic expectations. When you expect to do something in a brief period of time. Like if I said that in 2018, I'm going to be a bodybuilder, but I'm going to do it in 2 months. Now, it depends. If I don't have much fat in my body and I get a trainer and I work out 2 times a day every day like Will Smith did for that movie, yeah, I might get to that goal. But let's be realistic. Do I have money like Will Smith to have a trainer train me 2 times a day, which means I'm not working? Because, hey, if you work, can you really go to the gym 2 times a day? So I have to be realistic about my lifestyle, who I am, what I can afford, what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? Unrealistic expectations is another reason why we fail. Okay, here's a big one. No genuine need to change. Okay, so your friend says that she's gonna lose weight and you decide that you're gonna do it too. But are you doing it because your group of friends decided they're gonna do it? Or are you doing it because you genuinely want to do it? If you don't have a genuine desire to do something and you're doing it for other people, you're going to automatically fail. We do this. I've done this before myself. You know, if I am doing something because I think that it's the right thing to do or people want me to do it, I generally fail. But if I wake up one morning and I have this desire because it's been in me, I want to feel healthier, I'm going to have a lot of fuel to do it because it's coming from inside me. It's coming from me. But right now we're talking about reasons of failure. We're going to go deeper into that. Here's another big one. This is the biggest one. This is the one that most people don't know. If you study psychology or you're a self-help junkie like me, or I know you've run into this one, but if you're not normally into that kind of stuff, this is going to be a new one for you. Are you ready? Your resolutions do not match your inside, your belief system, who you are, your internal view of yourself. Are you following me? So in the other videos, when I've talked about depression and all that, I've talked about self-love. I've talked about changing your view of yourself to a positive view. You know, some of us don't believe that we can ever be the perfect size we want to be or look like whoever we idolize that has the perfect body that we want. Some of us don't believe that we can achieve certain goals in life. Let's say you want to be a famous singer. Let's use singing because that's my area, you know, and that's an area that I've had to work on. But you don't believe you can do it. You don't believe that you have what it takes to do it. You think that people who've made it in the music industry are gods, or they're doing some kind of magic to get there. Well, I assure you, you're never going to get there. Why? Because you are your own enemy. You are your own obstacle. Your belief system is working against what you want to do. If your New Year's resolution is, I am going to lose 50 pounds, it's doable. But if you don't believe you can, if you see yourself as this fat and attractive person, and that's what you've engraved in your brain, then it's gonna be difficult for you to do it. No matter how many times you tell yourself to wake up and go to the gym and do this and do that, your belief system, who you see yourself as, is always gonna get in the way. That's why that's one of the things that you have to work on when we go into how to succeed with resolutions. That is a major point. You have to work on your view of yourself. You know, if you want to be a rocket scientist, but you don't think you're good in science. So you have the desire to be a rocket scientist, but you don't think you're good in science. So now you got to work on your view of yourself, your thoughts about yourself, your inner dialogue. What are you telling yourself? Because if you don't believe you can do it, no matter how much you say you can do it, even if you set it as a resolution in the New Year's, even if you tell everybody around you you're going to do it, you have to believe you can do it. So most of us, this is the number one reason why we fail in New Year's resolutions, is because we don't believe what we're saying. We're saying it, but we don't believe it. We're saying it, but we don't believe it. Do you get where I'm going with this? The other thing is, which is actually connected to what we're saying, is low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem. So that I don't have to explain that. I just explained it. And then you have lack of tenacity. Lack of tenacity is a big thing. You want to do it. You really believe you can do it. But you can only do it for so long. You can only go to the gym for so long before you get tired and bored, because let's face it, you're doing the same exercises every day, and after a while you're like, who wants to run? Who wants to get on the Stairmaster? Oh my God, the Stairmaster, y'all. I don't like the Stairmaster. I know you know what I mean. Like, who wants to get on that? It's the best thing ever because it gets you all toned up, your thighs and everything toned up. But it hurts. So you may not have the tenacity to finish it, you know. The other one is feeling overwhelmed and getting anxiety. And part of that comes from loading yourself too much with having too much expectation, too goals that are bigger than what you are willing to work with right now. So what that leads to, it leads to guilt because you didn't do it. Then it leads to anxiety. Then it messes up with you even more, because if your goal is too big and you don't believe you can reach it, and then you start to fail, you feel guilty, and then you start feeling anxiety, and then it turns into a chore. And most human beings, if not all human beings, hate chores. Once something is not fun anymore, and it turns into a chore, then guess what? You're not going to keep doing it, are you? No, you're not. The other thing is impatience. You're impatient. You want to do it like this. You want to they call us the microwave generation, right? The microwave generation is a generation that wants to get things done now. You go to Starbucks and you want your coffee now. You go to a drive-thru at McDonald's and you get your food now. You want to talk to somebody on email or Skype or whatever, and you can do it right now. You can get in touch with people right now. Everything that we do in this generation, we can get it right now. So we take that and we put it in other areas of our lives. So when we're doing this New Year's resolution, you want to lose that 50 pounds right now. You want to stop smoking right now. You want to make that money right now. You want to be a millionaire right now. But in the reality of things take time. Time, this generation, we've made time our enemy. We don't want to work with time. We're just like, I want it now. What is that commercial that says, it's my money and I want it now? It's like, that's us. We want things right now, and that's why we fail. Because if you start your resolution and you don't lose that 50 pounds in January, guess what? In February, you're going to give up. If you don't reach the goal that you wanted to reach, guess what? You are going to give up before you know it. Then you have deprivation. Okay, deprivation is a bad thing. I tell you, I've learned this the hard way, y'all. I've tried so many different diets, and I didn't even start losing weight and getting in shape until I realized that when I tell myself something is bad, then I want it. How many of you have kids, or you've been a kid, and when you tell your child not to do something, they're gonna be more curious about it. Don't touch that. They're gonna be like, what? Why can't I touch it? They're curious about it. They're going to wait until you're not looking, and they're going to try to touch it, right? To see what happens when I touch it. That is the same way our psyche and our body works. If you tell your body, fries are bad for me, don't eat fries. When you see fries, you're automatically going to be like, fries. And your mouth is gonna start watering. So depriving ourselves is not a good thing. Depriving ourselves actually is equal to cravings. Deprivation is equal to cravings. Whatever you deprive yourself is the main thing that you're gonna crave. So again, we go back to our belief system and how we process things, how we think about things. You can say something with your mouth, but if you don't believe it with your brain, I don't care what you say with your mouth, your brain is going to work against you. So if you say, like I'll say bread is bad for me, bread, blah, blah, blah. But then I'll find myself thinking about bread all the time. And that's what happens with New Year's resolution. What you're doing when you're making a New Year's resolution is you're telling yourself that thing that you need to stop is bad. So I got to stop it. And then you go into this battle in your brain, in your mind, where you're like, okay, I really like smoking, but I gotta stop smoking because it's bad. And then all of a sudden now you have anxiety, you have all these things going on in your head. And by February, you're like, forget it. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. It's too stressful. It's not fun. I am not going to the gym. It hurts and I just don't like it. I'd rather sit down and watch TV. Boom. New Year's resolution discombobulated. Is gone. Is done. Right? Which brings me to my last one, which is guilt. Then you go into guilt. And you feel bad and you feel guilty. So you eat more fries and you eat more bread. And you smoke 5 packs of cigarettes in a day because you feel guilty. You see how we work against ourselves? So if you've ever wondered why, and you know what, this is a video, I don't want to make it long, so I'm just running through this, but you can go do your research, go into Google, type in why New Year's resolutions fail, or why I fail at quitting this or doing this or exercising and all that, and you'll find a world of information out there that's gonna help you, because all of this is a psychological thing. Y'all know I'm obsessed with psychology and self-help and all that, and I learn so much when I read these books and I watch these videos and get into these kinds of topics. I learn so much about the human mind and how we work against ourselves sometimes, how we are our worst enemy. We are the ones that sabotage ourselves. You want to blame your trainer and say he or she was too mean, that's why I quit. Well, why didn't you get another trainer? Why didn't you work out on your own? You want to blame, some people blame their spouse. I didn't want to eat bread. He brought bread home. Or I was at the restaurant and they had fries and they looked so good. So we want to blame everybody for the reason why we fail at our goals and New Year's resolution. But at the end of the day, it's us. And I'm not saying this to condemn you or condemn myself or condemn ourselves as a human race. What I'm saying is, until we understand how our psychology works, until we understand how our brain works, you have the conscious, you have the subconscious, until you understand how those things work, how you process your thoughts, how you think, what your belief system is, what are the things, the mental blockages that you have. Every year we're going to make this New Year's resolution, and every year we're going to fail miserably. It's February, people. Time to talk about this. I know we don't want to, but it's time to talk about this. Here's another fact I want to tell you. According to Business Insider, about 80% of people that make New Year's resolutions fail to stick to them for longer than 6 weeks. Business Insider they were talking about this because some of the New Year's resolutions involve getting a business started, making your business better, getting your finances better, whatever it is that you decided, oh, this is a new year, I'm going to be the best version of myself. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to get a better job, get this business started, make more money, do this, do that. And then by February, you're not even thinking about it. 6 weeks is what they give you with Business Insider. They say within 6 weeks or more, people stop, they fail, in their New Year's resolution, and we've talked about why. So now let's talk about how to succeed. You have 50% of the population making New Year's resolution and 80% of that failing. What is the 20% doing? Because they said, notice they say 80% fails. So that means that somebody is actually succeeding in their New Year's resolution. What is it that they're doing? What is that 20% doing? Let's find out. Little tiny story about myself. I didn't make a New Year's resolution this year, and I didn't make one last year. I stopped making New Year's resolutions about 2 or 3 years ago because I realized that I was failing miserably at doing it. So I decided to do a little bit of experiment. I didn't give up on making goals. I just gave up in making the New Year's resolution. So I started making my resolutions anytime, which is the first point that I want to give y'all. The first tip I want to give y'all on how to succeed at resolutions is start now. Don't wait until New Year's. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until whatever it is that our brain tells us is the beginning of something new. Don't wait until that. Start today. Start now. Wake up tomorrow and go to the gym. Start now. You're sitting at the restaurant. Make a better decision now while you're ordering your food. Start now. Because what we tell ourselves is we're going to start at New Year's, and then we feel like we have to make it perfect and we have to keep it going on the 2nd, the 3rd, the 25th of January. And then when we start feeling, it's a pattern. The human brain sometimes works things in patterns. So you have this pattern. That's why a lot of people start things on a Monday, or they start on New Year's, or they start in the morning. Is because we have been programmed to believe in that time moves in patterns. Time moves in years, weeks, months, days. So we feel like if we're going to have to start something, it has to start in the morning, which marks the beginning of the day. Monday, which marks the beginning of a week, the first of a month, which marks the beginning of the month, or the first of the year, which marks the beginning of the year. So we tend to think of things as patterns. And then what happens is when we decide to take on that pattern and we fail, or we disrupt the pattern in some way, like if I said that I'm going to do something for 7 days straight, if on the 4th day I forget to do it, or I get overwhelmed, my schedule gets really crazy and I don't do it, then what happens is I give up. I feel like my subconscious tells me, well, you broke the pattern, so you're going to have to start over again. Which is the other point that I want to bring up is don't start over. Keep going. Last year I was able to lose almost 30 pounds. And what helped me is I didn't think of it as a resolution. I didn't start on a pattern day. What I did is I just said, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And then when I started doing it, I said, whenever I'd slip up and eat something that I thought was the wrong thing, I would say, you know what? I get back on it tomorrow. I'm not going to start over Monday. I'm not going to start over next month or next year. I'm going to just get back on the wagon tomorrow. It doesn't matter what I did today. I'm just going to get back on it. Or on your next meal. Because even saying tomorrow, I'm realizing is the same as starting another pattern thing. So I say, you know what? I'm just going to, the next meal I'm going to do better. Okay, so maybe I ate too many fries because I was sitting at a restaurant. Well, then my dinner, I'm just going to have vegetables and chicken, So you have to just start whenever and then just get going from there. The other thing is set a realistic goal. Don't set unrealistic goal. Don't set general goals. Set one goal. Don't set too many goals. Pick one goal that is the most important to you. Go with that. The other thing is break that goal into smaller portions. So if you say that I'm gonna lose 50 pounds, don't concentrate on the 50 pounds. Concentrate on the first 5 to 10 pounds. Be realistic. Do your research. How long does it take to lose so many pounds, and what do I have to do? And then set a realistic goal and decide that, you know what, this is how long it's gonna take me to lose this weight. This is how long it's gonna take me to do this. So I'm gonna go and hey, lose 10 pounds here. Yay, celebrate it and reward yourself. That's the other thing. Reward yourself. When you reach those small goals, sit down. Here's a big goal. Doesn't have to be just weight loss, whatever goal it is. Here's a beginning. Here's a big goal. Strategize. Strategize. Write down the steps every 10 pounds or so. Okay, so every 10 pounds, I'm going to reward myself. And what I would do is I'd say, if there's a dress that I really wanted, I'll buy that. If I want to go to the spa, whatever it is, set goals. And we're going to go into that another time about weight loss and all that. But it's not just with weight loss. We're starting a business. With whatever your goal is, set small goals that lead to the big goals, and don't think about the big goals so much. Concentrate on getting the little goals met. And then as you do that, you're going to find yourself gaining momentum. Because when you lose that 5 pounds, you're going to be so excited. You're going to be like, oh, let me see what else I can do. And you're going to keep going and you're going to keep going. So be realistic. Break your goals into smaller goals. Set a reward for yourself. This one is a big one. Take it easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. This is the number one reason why people fail, is because you're so hard on yourself that if you slip one time, you're like, oh, you know what? I failed. Never mind. Forget about it. I can't do it. It's not doable. Whatever. I'm going to go sit on the couch. I'm going to binge watch Netflix. I'm going to eat potato chips and drink 5 beers. It doesn't matter, because you know what? The gym is not for me. None of that stuff is for me. So you just kind of completely give up on your resolution. I keep bringing the weight loss thing because that's the number one resolution that people make. So don't be hard on yourself. If you slip up, if you fail, get up, dust yourself off, say I'm human, laugh at yourself a little bit and say, oh my God, those fries were good. I'm glad I got to eat them. That was funny how I did that. And then just move on. Get back in the gym. Get back on that treadmill. Get back into eating healthy. Just every day, take a day at a time. Every day counts. Everything you do counts. Remember that. Every positive thing you do count. I forget who said this, but I saw this concept called the 80-20. It works in everything, but especially with weight loss and stuff like that. If you do something good 80% of the time, when you fail 20% of the time, it still is going to work, because 80% trumps 20%. 80% is going to add up. If you eat an excess of 1,000 calories beyond what you're supposed to eat for your normal size every single day for 80% of the year or the time, you're going to, in the end, gain weight. But if you eat healthy 20% of the time, the 80% will trump the 20%. So you're not going to be healthy at the end of the year. But if you eat healthy 80% of the time, 80% of your day, 80% of your week, 80% of your month, 80% of the year, 80% of your life, you'll find that it'll be easier to reach your goals of being healthier and maintaining your weight or losing weight, because the 80% counts for the positive things that you're doing. The 20% doesn't really make a big, huge difference. Remember that when you're being hard on yourself. Same with starting a business. If 80% of the time you're doing something towards that, and 20% of the time you're failing. Also with your debt and finances and all that. Whatever it is you're trying to do. If 80% of the time you are doing the right thing, the 20% of the time that you fail, because we're all human. You're not going to be 100% all the time. You are going to succeed still. So always remember the 80-20 rule in everything that you do. Make sure the 80 is positive. Don't worry so much about the 20%. And you're going to be okay. You're going to make a lot of progress. Work on your self-esteem. That's a big one. Work on your self-esteem. Not to be redundant, but do your inner work. If you want to reach your goals and resolutions that you make, do your inner work, because it all starts there, which I have said this over and over in this video, and I know that you can comprehend exactly what I mean. Is you have to work on what you believe about yourself, how you really see yourself, what you think you can really do. If you feel like what you think about yourself, how you view yourself is too low, then work on that first before you even start to set these huge goals for yourself. You can do it. You can make it, but you got to work on that voice, or that inner voice that sabotages you every time that you start to do things. Don't set goals for yourself that you really don't believe you can do, because that leads to more problems. This is like when people do affirmations, and you have this beautiful affirmations, but if on the inside you really don't believe in what you're saying, then what's going to happen is you're going to trip yourself up. You're going to give yourself a guilt trip. You're going to become resentful, and you're going to stop doing the work. So do your inner work. Work on yourself first. And that's where the next point comes in, is get a support group for whatever it is that you want to do. Get a support group to help you. Get a trainer, get a therapist, get a I don't know, if you're trying to quit smoking, get a group that works on that. If you're trying to quit drinking, join an anonymous drinkers group or whatever. Join something, or get somebody into your life, or friends or family members who are there with you, who understand what you're trying to do, who are going to be completely honest with you and are going to help you, and who can give you the tools that you need to reach your goals. If every year you say you're going to lose weight, but you don't do it, in fact you gain weight, then find a support system. Find somebody that's an expert with these things that can tell you where you're going wrong, or what is it that you're doing that you should, and what you can do to improve. The reason that I brought up like the therapist thing, if you have limiting beliefs, you have things that are stopping you from reaching your goals, because you say that you're going to be this, but deep inside you really don't believe it, then you go to an expert with that, somebody that can help you work on those limiting beliefs, to eliminate those limiting beliefs, to help you to get beliefs that actually work for you. Believing in yourself, that's the word. Phrase, believing in yourself and what you can do. You got to grow that. You got to grow that before you start trying to do these big things. Once you grow yourself, once you believe you can do something. Was it Napoleon that said that what the mind can conceive, it can achieve? What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve? Because it starts with your mind. If you believe you can do something, if you can conceive it in your mind, I don't care if you want to invent the next rocket or a spaceship that's going to take mankind to a planet that we haven't been to. You can do it. Don't laugh. I see you laughing. You can do it. But you got to believe it. It starts here, people. The number one reason we fail our New Year's resolution? Right here. We don't believe we can do it. We don't believe in ourselves. This brings me to my last point, and I will close this up. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Whatever it is that you decide that you want to achieve in this life, if you're not patient with yourself, take it easy on yourself and be patient with yourself. And not just patient with yourself, be patient with time. Be patient with your body. Be patient with everything. If you're trying to lose weight, be patient. Eat right, exercise, and be patient. Stop trying to use these magic pills out here that they're coming up with, and these belts. Or if I put this belt on, by tomorrow I'll have lost weight. What you're forgetting is those people you see in those commercials, they've been doing their sit-ups. They didn't get that six-pack from that belt. I'm sorry if I'm messing up any companies, whatever commercials here. I'm sorry about that. Not mentioning names. I'm just saying, these magic pills out there. You have models that are on TV showing you how they lost weight and all that. Those people, they've been on the Stairmaster. They've done things the hard way. That's why they look the way they do. They just getting paid to tell you this. And you take that little magic pill and you wake up tomorrow and you still fat or whatever it is you want to call it. I'm sorry for using that word. And now you mad. Now you mad because you're not patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Trust the process in everything you're trying to do. If you're trying to make money and you want to sell real estate, go to school, learn about real estate. Follow the process. Be patient, however long it takes you to do stuff. Be patient, and I assure you that you are going to reach your goals. Thank y'all for watching. I hope this was really, really helpful. And I know that you're realizing that you really enjoyed this video, because this was a topic that affects each and every one of us. I want to remind you to click on the subscribe button if you want more videos like this, if you want more informative stuff like this, if you want more entertaining stuff. I also do comedy, I do music, I just try to do things to brighten up your day. So to give me a chance to brighten up your day, I encourage you to click on the subscribe button, click on the little bell next to the subscribe button. Subscribe. I can't talk today. I never can talk. Subscribe. English is my second language, y'all, so whenever I mess up, I always use that excuse. I pulled that foreigner card. English is my second language. But anyways, the bell next to the subscribe button is good, because every time I post something, you get it right away, and you can watch the videos. I encourage you to click on like, and also to share the video. Maybe you have friends who are frustrated because they set up their New Year's resolution and it didn't work out. Send this video to them. Share, people, because what? Sharing is caring. Once again, thank you for joining me, and I wish you a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you again. Ciao.